First, I'd like to start off by thanking Doug for bringing this very interesting case. I'd like to thank the judge for presiding over the case. I'd like to thank my partner for what is sure to be a very eloquent and early speech. Anywho, I'm gonna first start by jumping to my first point, and that's the idea of the benefits of homeschooling, the focused education that homeschooling provides. When you go to a public school, what's the ratio of teachers to students? In this average school system, as the PM so put it, it's an average school system. So it's going to be something like 1 teacher to 20 kids. And when you have something like that, you can't give the sort of one-on-one or even two-on-one in this case, if you're having more parent interaction with the kid that homeschooling provides. And so that in itself is a massive benefit, which is totally lost upon the public school system. Not on top of this educational point, the idea of a public, not right now, gotta do POI. Anyway. The amount of classes that a student in a public school system takes is often a huge amount, which isn't necessarily pertaining to what the child wants to do. The child is exposed to so many things, and she gets a breadth of topics, but she doesn't get to explore her own topics in her own way. I'll get you there. Calm down. All right. In the way that, say, at home, parents can sort of nurture and influence. If the child loves music, the parents can invest in instruments, high-class instruments, not just the hand-me-downs from the 70s, but inherent in the public system. I have a lot of things to get to. I'll address later. Next, the second point is the social aspect of homeschooling. Homeschooling, you get to choose what you can do. Your time isn't allotted in this sort of strict, rigid, almost like jail-like, prison-like system that is public school system. You don't have 45 minutes, and then you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning to go to school on that half-an-hour bus ride, and that another half-an-hour bus ride back. That time can be instantly put towards education and then extracurriculars outside of the class, and that includes intramural sports and other things that are provided by the town or by various academies. Yes, but you.
Okay. So you say that this girl can participate in all these intramural activities provided by the town. Stop it! It's the way that we're doing this exercise. You say that this girl your daughter can participate in these intramural activities provided by the town, but at the point where she has a life-threatening peanut allergy, wouldn't those environments be just a little unsafe because they are not required to make the same accommodations for her that the school would be? The school has to keep her safe.
All right, but we're not assuming suppression here. This. All right. That's a good.
Never ever say that. Just PS.
No, because the school system, you can't assume perfection. Who knows that there's going to be some sort of wind blowing peanuts into this girl's face? This 6-year-old girl has to live with the danger of asphyxiation for her whole life. And as the PM so eloquently put it, she has to gain the self-esteem. She has to gain the ability to believe in herself, to believe in her rights, to survive, so to speak. The third independent point that I'd like to bring up is sort of not the cost to people and the way that affects the girl. All right, so we're not just talking about the monetary cost of dogs, the safety people, the inspectors, and everything that is supposed to keep this one girl safe in an average school system. Even though this is our child and we love and care for her so much, that environment that we bring to the school system is not environment of learning, and two, it affects every single child there, and then every single child has one person to blame for that, and that's sort of that brings about a sort of a separate environment. This one girl will be standing out. She'll be that girl that forces us to get mouthwash in the morning. Because come on, when you're a 6-year-old who wants to brush your teeth in the morning and then go to school and then drink mouthwash again, all right? That brings I have a lot of things to get through. That brings a whole sort of slew of complaints and things like that. And so you have literally one girl who will be sort of ostracized and who will have to deal with these sort of mean looks and mean stares for the rest of her life. Because as much as we like to believe, these 6-year-olds aren't necessarily going to accept this girl who's making them radically change their lives and making their school experiences radically different. The fourth independent. Okay, wait. Never mind. Okay, now I'd like to go on case and address the PM's points. And she said, the public school system has teachers and sort of gives these people who are trained to teach. All right, but the large amounts of variance in teachers have a large amount of variance in teachers results in sort of an uneven education. You can have a really crappy teacher. And I'm sure everyone in this room has had a really crappy teacher who has totally just shat on their ability to learn and just totally destroyed their willingness to learn, and they had to learn in spite of the teacher. And of course, the public school system does have those teachers that nurture you in every single juncture of your learning process. But when you're homeschooling, those well-to-do teachers are your parents, and they will literally nurture you and care for you at every single point in your life. There is no bad teacher. You're not taking a gamble. You're not sending your child off to these teachers, but you seem to disagree.
What if, as a parent, should you assume that you are the best equipped person to teach your child, or should you want professionals to should you do this yourself, or should you have professionals do it to ensure that your child has like the maximum benefit of education, like the best education, the best quality? Should you assume that your teaching is the best teaching?
You're assuming that the teachers are the best quality. We're not assuming that we're the best quality. We know that we can give her sort of a loving and kind environment, which is very conducive to learning. When you're sending her to school, you're taking a gamble. And not only that, many homeschool parents do rely on sort of curriculum. There is a whole sort of large economy that helps parents create a better curriculum. And again, extracurriculars, there are extracurriculars outside of school. And the well-rounded thing, under this education point, she brought up the idea of being well-rounded. Well, again, well-rounded, which is better, sort of the person who isn't passionate about, the person who is passionate about one subject and does that really well, or the person who simply picks up an instrument and learns to play the recorder. I mean, come on. Second, social. Again, these peers won't love her. These peers will literally ostracize her and treat her as that sort of one girl who's sickly and has the cootie, so to speak. Third, it's good of the school system. The kids, it's good for the health. It's good for kids to sort of get immunized, to have good hygiene. Again, there is a theory in biology that where if you live around pathogens all your life, you get immunized to those pathogens. So when you're putting these kids in a glass box by making them hygienic, to that point, it's actually detrimental to their case. And on the idea of the image of Florida being negative, the idea of Florida being some sort of hate-filled land, I don't know what you're talking about here. We have Disney World. This is the land of old people and not much else. It's not the land. No one associates Florida with hatred. All right. And finally on the fourth point of rights, I'm going to get to that. I rest my case.